And a part that we're not supposed to have. We weren't supposed to have a part 2 or part 3, but apparently my phone got too hot while it was sitting there. So you gotta look at me up close now. At least I can jump right back into the story. Cause this is
Watch out, vehicle stopped on shoulder ahead.
So, cause this is where it starts getting good. So, I discovered all that cool stuff on that disc, and I'm getting ready to start making my rounds. So before I make my rounds, keep in mind I am in a washroom / guard shack. There is nobody in that little shack but me. Nobody. There is a small window behind me, but that's it. And there's a door leading to some restrooms. So,
in 1 mile, exit right US 90 alternate, Stafford, Sugarland.
So I'm getting ready to make the rounds, and all of a sudden I hear a conversation behind me. I could not make out what they were saying, but it was like a man and a woman. They were talking low. I look behind me, of course there's nobody there. I'm the only person on the property. Only thing behind me is a window. So I get up. Also, I have to disarm the alarm every time I go outside. I hurry up, I disarm the alarm.
Exit right US 90 alternate, Stafford, Sugarland.
And I'm hauling ass around the property. I'm running, cause I'm gonna figure out who the hell is messing with me. I run around the property. I don't see anything. I couldn't make out what they were saying. Nothing. It was just empty.
In a 1/4 mile, turn right on Corporate Drive.
And like I said, I'm hauling ass around there. I'm running. I got my chucks with me and everything. It's finna talk again, I believe.
Turn right on Corporate Drive.
You're doing a lot of talking now that I'm getting close, huh? Man, check this out. Nothing's there. I go back into the
In 1/2 mile, you'll arrive at 10445 Corporate Drive, Sugarland, Texas.
You could have told me which side of the street it was gonna be on. I'm blind, I can't see. I get back inside, I set the alarm, and I put it in my report. Call my captain again. This time, he didn't answer. He calls me back about 20 minutes later after that. I'm sitting there like, what the hell's going on? And I'm already mad because the bastard had hung up in my face. So
You'll arrive in 1,000 feet.
Damn, what side is it on? Cocksucker. Yeah, he had already hung up in my face. Then he calls me back late, and he proceeds to chew me out. So he's chewing me out. I've got this stuff in my report of the craziness that's going on. And I'm telling him, hey, it sounded like somebody was talking behind me. Man, I told you, don't be calling me with that stuff here. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. It's after 4 o'clock in the morning. You disturbing my rest. Hey, I know what I heard. I heard somebody earlier laughing, and I heard somebody talking behind me. Then he tries to jive me. Man, you probably hear the other guard in the building. They probably in there playing around. I said, ain't nobody else at the building. Yeah, somebody else inside the building. Somebody else in there, man. Don't be calling me with that. Chewing me out. And I'm hot.
In 700 feet,
Bitch,
turn left.
Shut the fuck up. Shut your ass up. I bet I can't even close it down. So, he hangs up with me. And I needed to go to the restroom. Didn't want to pee outside. At that time, I didn't pee outside hardly. I do now. I ain't gonna like shit in a heartbeat. All that work at Medical Plus, I shit. Had to pull over, take a leak, hand sanitizer, and that be that. Man, look here. I go to the restroom, and I'm a little spooked out. I'm checking every stall in the restroom, the men's and the women's. I'm checking everything, because I hadn't been in that part. I had to unlock it to go in there. Shit. I checked every stall, and it was scary. And there was nobody in there. Took my leak, closed the door, locked it, and what do I hear? Sounds like children playing. A little bit of laughter, a little bit of playing, and it was brief. And it sounded like I heard something go, just a quick knock. I haul ass back to the desk after that. I was getting freaked out myself. I was already kind of freaked out, but after that, it's like, shit. I'm going to the office myself, and I'm going to tell them what's up. Whoo! I get ready to make my rounds, and the maintenance showed up. They showed up about 5:15. It's like, all right, man, we're here. You can go now. I was like, well, I'm supposed to be here to 6. It's like, man, don't worry about it. Just clock out at home like everybody else do. We got it from here. We're here. There's no need for you to be here. They told me where to leave the keys. I left the keys. I went home for a little bit. Told my mom about it. And I told her I'm finna go back up there. And she was, supportive of it. So I go to the office. And there my old captain is. I asked for the regional supervisor who was there in the office. As soon as I get there, the secretary's looking at me like, oh crap, here we go again. She tells me the regional guy isn't there. The regional manager, he's not there today. Out walks my captain. What you doing here? I bring my report. I show it to him. And we're kind of having a conversation. I'm like, look, I know what I heard. You kept hanging up on me. This is in my report. These are the times. I know what I heard. I heard laughing. I heard conversation behind me. I heard kids playing. And I couldn't find nothing. Oh, man, that's the other guard in the building. I told you there's another guard up in the building. No, it wasn't. So my old captain kind of stepped in. He was the Bible thumping type. Sometimes he'd come and just read a little bit of passages of the Bible, and he'd go on when he come check the site. He might even pray for you. He was an awesome guy. He's like, now hold on. I work with Mr. Evans, and this doesn't seem normal. Maybe you should listen to him. He's like, man, he just up there jiving. He called me all night about this bull crap. Ain't nothing going on up there. He just don't want to work the property. He don't want to work the property. That's all it is. So, guess who walks out of the office? The regional, what I call that guy? The regional guy. He's the big guy. And I had dealt with him before over some pay issues because a guard had stole my hours. Which we lost the site over those two guards. Leaving the property for hours at a time. Sometimes they wouldn't even come in. I worked 18 hours on that shift where she had stole my hours. I worked 18 hours. We were supposed to work 12. I worked 18 because she didn't show up. And I couldn't leave until she showed up. And she goes change my paperwork. So I had been dealing with the regional guy because he's the one who handled my issues. So he walks out. And he hears me. And he knows about these guards that just leaving after working there one day. He's like, hey! If he said he heard something, he probably heard something. And the guy, he's trying to talk back to the regional guy. Man, and these guys, they just don't want to work. These old youngsters, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And the regional guy said, you, quiet now. Now, Mr. Evans, what's going on? So I explained it to him. And I was like, I was hearing noises in the middle of the night. I read the report to him. I showed him what was going on, this, that, and the other. And so he was saying, you know what? You're not the only one that complained. You're not the only one to leave that site after hearing something strange. So we're going to definitely look into it. So it's like at the moment, we don't have any more sites for you to work at. So we're kind of full right now. But you can just, if we can find you something, we'll put you somewhere else. But we're not going to send you back there. So he was nice about it. But I had, other ambitions too. I was like, well, if I'm going to be off for a while, there's a couple other companies that are hiring right now. He was like, yeah, that's fine. If that's what you need to do, just go ahead and do it. But we're definitely going to take in consideration what you're telling us. And so the captain like, nah, he's still talking shit. So I get ready to walk out of the office. And the captain like, don't come back. I just closed the door. I had a couple of other offers for like coming up that week, and they didn't quite work out. So what I ended up doing was pursuing a whole different type of career at that point. Because at that point, there was no place for me to work. I wasn't getting paid what I was promised anyway. Actually, yeah, that reminds me. I was supposed to be making $8 an hour at the Ramsey Museum. Found out I was making like $7.25. Now, when I worked Surcell, that old black ass dude, he had told me I was gonna be making $7.25. I get there, I'm making like $6.75 or something like that. So he had already had the reputation of lying. My captain, Captain Bolton, had already left too. And so that guy for a while was like the only captain. He was going to be over me regardless. So I quit. And I was like, man, that's it. I quit. I'm going to go ahead and try to take one of these other opportunities. Which didn't work out. But anyways, that's some crazy stuff right there. That's probably the craziest work experience I've ever had right there. That there was wild. I had never experienced like a hunting like that. So after doing a little research on the Ramsey Museum, and this is important, I found out, yeah, it was a house. But it was an old slave house. The washroom that I was in was converted. The slave house, the washroom that I was in was converted from a slave house. So they had the big fancy house, the masses, and then the slave quarters is where I was at. So here I am all night sitting up in the slave quarters. Don't know how many people could have died in there. You know what I'm saying? So there were men, women, and children in that area over the years. Some of them probably died in there. And that might have been like a gravestone that I saw in the back of the building, parked way down that long grassway. So the stuff was crazy, man. But anyways, I wanted to share that with y'all, and I was hoping that be in one part. But it's got to be in 3 parts because my phone's being a douche, and the sun is being a douche. Now it's really the I don't know why these S7s get so hot so quick. But yeah, that's that. Peace.